Hello, and welcome to It's a Fandom Thing. I'm your host, Erin Marlowe, and each week I'm joined by a panel of guests to discuss all things fandom and pop culture, primarily from a female perspective. You'll find everything from fanfic, to cosplay, to Schitt's Creek, to Supernatural, and everything in between. So put on your favorite piece of fandom merch, set aside that fanfic that you're writing about your OTP, and sit back and enjoy this week's episode. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Pop Culture and Fandom News. I'm your host, Erin Marlowe, and on this episode, this week's Pop Culture episode, and also Friday's episode, I'm so excited. Two brand new people from the podcast, Mind the Tags, Emily and V. They are both here with me, and I'm very excited to have them on. Friday, we're going to be talking about fanfic. We're going to be talking about slash fanfic in particular, and male slash fanfic. So I'm really excited to have both of you on. So let me introduce you both. So first, Emily. Hi, Emily.
Hello. And sorry, when you counted down again, I was going to clap again because I was so excited. So I apologize for that. I wasn't supposed to clap.
I did clap.
Yeah, I know. So we're so excited to be here, Erin. My name's Emily. I also go by Fervent Rabbit on AO3 and various other places. And as Erin said, I'm the co-host of Mind the Tags, and that we talk all about fan fiction all the time. So we're very excited to talk about fan fiction more on Friday, but even today we'll sprinkle some in maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. Our main topic will be talking a little bit about that. So thank you for being here. And then your co-host, V. Hi, V.
Hi, I'm V. I'm also, depending on how many characters are allowed in the digital service, I'm also V against or V against the day. I think on AO3, I'm fully V against the day. So,
yes. Well, awesome. Well, I'm so excited to have both of you on here. I really thank you so much for reaching out to me too, Emily. So I love having new creative people on here. And I've listened to your podcast, and I think you are both a great fit with our roster. So I'm happy to have you aboard.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Emily is really great at being like, I'm going to reach out to someone.
And randomly
thank you, Emily.
See what happens. Also, if you hear hissing in the background, it's nothing fun. It's just my cats fighting. So, sorry.
Nothing fun. I'm trying to think of the fun it would be.
Yeah.
You never know.
A balloon slowly losing air? I don't know.
Alien encounter.
We're going to start this pop culture episode the way we start every single one. And I'm excited because it's the first time I've ever heard anything that either one of you are into, or even if you want to rage about something, whatever. So, Emily, what is one thing in fandom or pop culture that has you buzzing?
Well, I've already prepped you a little bit for this, Erin, and V is intimately aware of the struggle that I continue to go through on a daily basis. I have been watching Supernatural for the first time. Folks, I'm in the pit. It is probably the worst and the best at the same time. I'm suffering on a daily basis. I watch these episodes. I literally look to the side and scream. I'm just like, what is going on? What is going on? I'm deeply obsessed with Dean Winchester. I want nothing but for the best for him, but also my partner has been watching me watch the show and just like mourning my experience of watching it because it's so deeply wild. And he has always some fun commentary to say about it, but he said of Dean Winchester, we were watching an episode the other day and he said the following. He said, I know he's been to hell and back, but why's he got to be such a spoil sport?
Spoil sport.
And I'm like, because he's not allowed to kiss Castiel. That's why. Anyway. So I'm really upset. But you know what, though? Here's the thing. Years and years, everyone was like, Supernatural. I heard so much about the show, good and bad, all the stuff going on. I was like, I don't even know. How would I even approach that? But it's a good show, Erin. It's a really good show. And it has great characters. And I'm like, wow. It was so clouded for me by all the fandom stuff around it. And I'm really glad I'm watching it while also suffering. So anyway, that's what I have to rage about. And I think you, of all people, understand deeply as a Dean Winchester stan.
I do. Dean Winchester is my all-time favorite character forever and always. I shipped Destiel for a bit, and then, to be honest, the fandom kind of turned me off. I'll be honest. Some of the diehard fans are like, so I found some of them. I know not all of you, because I know some of you personally were very anti-Dean. They seemed to be. So it was very hard for me. And that kind of made me lose my love of it for in the show, but I'll still read fanfic with them. I wrote one Destiel fanfic a long time ago. And I wrote one fanfic that is like one that I will, actually I've written three. I've written four supernatural fanfics. I'm like, what? I wrote a series called Dean in Therapy, but if you ever read it, you can't read it until you're done with like season 10.
Okay.
There's so much lore.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
It's one of those that like it is wonderful and it's awful at the same time because it gets its hooks in you and it doesn't let go.
I feel seen.
It's like that. I totally get it. I mean, have another podcast. It's a Dean thing where we just talk about Dean Winchester and that's all we talk about.
That's amazing.
He's worthy of a podcast, this man. I'm telling you, V. Like, it is next level. And when I first saw this man in season 1, I was like, I know I'm going to be obsessed with you. Even though you're saying stuff that I think is awful, I know I'm going to be obsessed with you. And here I am. Months later. Awful.
And you've even boarded the Destiel train, so.
I did. Now, I will say, it's nice. It's actually kind of nice to be like, watch it. I'm totally outside of the fandom, I feel like. I'm watching it by myself, as everyone knows, because I'm screaming to myself. And so actually it's like nice because I don't have any of the baggage along with it, right? So I can kind of like, it's like almost like a very pure fandom experience, which is kind of interesting. I've never really had that. So, but now I have you, Erin, to complain to.
No, that's nice because the fandom, because I still keep track of everything in there also because we discuss like, it's a Dean thing. We start it by discussing what's going on in the fandom at that moment. And the fandom is... It's rough. I've met the most amazing people through it, but it's also rough. And there's a lot of new people that keep discovering it, and I'm not saying this about you, Emily, at all, but like new people discovering it and seeing their journey, or like new people that are like really young discovering it and getting mad because there are older people in the fandom. And it's a mess. And then you've got the shipping wars. The big shipping wars between, of course, Destiel and Wincest is the biggest one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's a lot going on.
So, yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yep. But if you ever get a chance to go to a supernatural convention, they're expensive. They're way overpriced, but they're the best conventions I've ever been to, hands down.
Oh.
Really amazing conventions. But they are expensive. Like, super
I see Emily immediately.
Watch me creep up like, oh my God. But you know what?
Welcome.
V's
thing is like, apparently V is having the time of their life experiencing me watching the show. So you're welcome, V.
I am. I'm really enjoying it.
Have you watched the show, V?
I have not, but one of my high school best friends watched it while it was airing and became deeply, deeply obsessed, and still is. I think that she most recently watched the whole thing right after she had her baby a few months ago while she was like very sleepless, like caring for an infant. So I've witnessed many people develop the supernatural madness, but I have not watched it.
Like the supernatural madness.
Wait,
I think that's
what
what
did
called.
Our friend called it super hoopox or something like that. It was so funny that
super hoopox. Incredible.
That's funny. That's really funny. So V, what are you into then? Or even if you're angry about something.
No, I am very excited to watch Deadloch season 2. It came out on Friday. If people don't know what Deadloch is, it's on Amazon Prime. It's about lesbians in Australia solving crime. And one of the co-stars is Madeline Sammy, who I wish was my wife. Madeline, call me if you hear this. I'm free literally anytime. But I haven't had a chance all of the episodes of season 2 dropped in one day and all together. And so I have multiple places I've just been avoiding so I don't get spoiled. And I haven't had a chance to watch, but I'm taking a flight tomorrow. So that's going to be the Deadloch zone for me.
I still have to watch, by the way.
Yeah, I've never heard of this show. So, but Amazon Prime, they are horrible at promoting their shows. So
they are.
Yeah.
What is going on with that? But yeah, Erin, V and I met in the Our Flag Means Death fandom, which is related to Deadloch because Madeline is in Our Flag Means Death, and so a lot of our fandom watches this show as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's I refer to it as the New Zealand cinematic universe. Everyone related to New Zealand, you then start watching their stuff because they all appear in Our Flag Means Death. Nearly everyone in New Zealand, I think. So
the entire population has appeared in that show. That's true.
Yeah. But Deadloch is amazing show in its own right. It's very funny. It skewers kind of like lesbian culture, but then also in like a loving way. And then also how the outside world relates to lesbian culture is also skewered. So it's very good.
Huh. Yeah. Well, awesome. I love it when it's something I've never heard of too, because I'm like, huh? But once again, Amazon Prime, they just suck at promoting their shows. Like there are only a couple that they promote, like The Boys, they'll promote that, you know? You know, I don't know if you're going to end up
with Dean Winchester.
Yeah, with Dean Winchester.
Infiltrated my feed.
Yeah, but they're so bad at that. And what is the other one? Apple TV. Apple TV is also bad at promoting their
They're
stuff.
kind of bad at it. Although they did they did that cool Severance thing where the Severance people were in Grand Central Station or something, right? You remember that? They were in this big box. That was kind of fun. But like, why don't they do that?
Yeah.
Why don't they just have like a billboard for all their shows? I don't get it. Yeah.
I don't either. I don't either. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
And they'll have like great shows and no one ever knows about them.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's very weird. Well, what I'm into is, and people who know me will not be shocked by this if you know this is out, but Shudder has a new documentary that I actually wish was a docuseries, but it's okay. And it's called 1,000 Women in Horror. And both of you might not know, horror is my favorite genre. If I move a little bit, you keep seeing, that's actually, oh, really? That's Michael Myers back there.
Michael, so I thought that was you, Mike.
I collect Michael Myers stuff. I have over 60 things of Halloween and Michael Myers related. And so, but this goes through women in horror, like starting way, 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 way back to present, talks about characters and also directors. And, you know, it also talks about how there is still that stigma of people don't think that women like horror at all. Mm-hmm. And that's so not true and has never been not true. So that's what I really love about it is exploring why we like horror and pushing the boundaries and how, you know, I've always thought of it as it's the punk rock genre in film because it pushes the boundaries more than any other genres, I think, or it's ahead of its time, you know, it pushes them before others do. So I recommend that. That's on Shudder. I just wish it was a docuseries because it's just like an hour and 40 minutes. And I wanted more. Like I wanted them to go through like each individual one going through like maybe one episode just on Final Girls and one episode maybe on the woman being the villain and then something like that. So, you know, but it was good. And they didn't just have like straight white women talking, which was also nice. They had trans women, they had women of color, I don't know about sexualities, but they had like a total different range of people. So it wasn't just white women talking about it, because I think that's the other important thing to remember whenever you're covering anything like that, is to not just keep it white. You know?
That's such a great motto for every day, really. Don't just keep it white.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, this is good to know that Shudder is like a good, because I've been thinking about getting like subscribing to it. But you recommend it.
Oh my gosh, if you're a horror fan, you have to have Shudder.
Okay.
I mean, I think Shudder is one of the best streaming services out there, especially if you're a fan of the genre, because they have such a huge variety And I think they push a lot that, not push isn't the right word, but they feature a wide variety of voices. And so I love them. I've been a huge fan of theirs for years.
I'm going to get into it. I love that what's the documentary called again?
1,000 Women in Horror.
Ooh, okay.
So, yeah. Well, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to watch the trailer for Spider-Man. I think this is the first time we've watched a trailer for a Marvel movie. So, which is kind of funny. But we'll be right back. I don't know about you, but I like keeping my money where I can see it. Unfortunately, traditional, quote, big wireless carriers also seem to like keeping my money too. After years of overpaying for wireless, I finally got fed up with crazy high wireless bills, bogus fees, and those, quote, free perks that actually cost more in the long run, and switched to Mint Mobile. With premium wireless plans starting at just $15 a month, you could be saving so much money. Since I switched, I'm saving over half of what I used to pay. With those other carriers, I was never sure if I was going to have that 5G coverage, because sometimes I'd be in the middle of watching something, I'd lose connection, I'd walk a block away, and all of a sudden, 5G network, poof, gone. But since switching to Mint Mobile, I no longer have to worry about that, because all plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. So stop overpaying for wireless just because that's how it's always been. Mint exists purely to fix that. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. Bring your own phone and number. You can activate with eSIM in minutes and start saving immediately. No long-term contracts, no hassle. So ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. I use this and you should too. If you like your money, Mint Mobile is for you. Shop plans at mintmobile.com/fandom. That's mintmobile.com/fandom. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month 5GB plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Okay, so it's that time. Everybody listening, you pause us for a few seconds, watch the trailer, link in the show notes, and then when you hit play again, we'll be back with our thoughts. But for us, I'm just going to go ahead and share the screen. And V, did you already watch this trailer or no?
No, I haven't watched it.
Cool. You both have watched it.
I thought we were going to watch it together.
Oh, no, we are. But sometimes people watch it in advance. But I mean, I did because I like to just watch them to make sure I'm not about to show anybody something really weird.
Totally. That's good. I have not seen it.
Okay, awesome. So here we go.
Oh, no.
Okay. Did you say, oh, no?
Yeah, I feel so bad.
So Emily feels bad, but what are you a fan of Spider-Man first?
Okay, so while I was watching this, I realized that I have seen Tom Holland in nothing except The Impossible, which is that movie about the tsunami when he was a tiny child. I'm obsessed with Tom Holland because of his famous umbrella dance, obviously, that we all love. But I'm not into the Marvel universe, so I don't watch any of the Spider-Mans or anything. But he looks so sad. He looks so sad to be losing his girlfriend, and I was just so sad. But then also I recognized Milchek from Severance in it, so then I got excited.
I also was like, oh, that's Milchek from Severance.
Right, Milchek from Severance. But see, I was a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man girly, so for me, I just don't that is the be-all, end-all for me, so I just don't acknowledge the other Spider-Mans, except Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Which I love.
No,
very complicated.
I understand. So V, are you a Spider-Man person or a Marvel person?
I have seen some of the Marvels, not all of the Marvels. I have seen some of the Tom Holland ones. I was a little distracted during the trailer, just thinking wait, Tom Holland and Zendaya got married.
They did.
So you don't have to feel too bad for him.
Exactly. It's going to be fine.
That made me feel better, but I was so sad that she didn't remember him.
Mhm.
It was a very
Yep.
you know what it is? That's like a fanfic AU right there, V. That whole scenario is
It
like,
is,
oh,
for sure.
yeah, like that's very like
Mhm.
That's like a great trope.
a great trope.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I hope she remembers him. God bless.
I hope she remembers.
The movie
it.
just ends with no resolution. Like she
Yeah.
has no memory of him ever again.
Yeah.
Also, I was trying to figure out who the villain in the van was.
Is he the
Who
villain?
got
He
like
seemed
knocked
like
out
nice.
of the van.
No, that's the Punisher. That's another.
Okay.
That's the anti-hero superhero. It's like the one
Yeah.
that you see like so many jerks like they
Yeah.
have that logo because they think it makes them look tough, when in reality, like you'll see people that are like cops and stuff have that, when in reality the Punisher is so anti that they're kind of like, it's kind of funny because they're like cops celebrating the Punisher when the Punisher is like the opposite of that. I'm not as familiar with him, so I could be wrong on a lot of that, but that's what I understand.
I've heard that as well. I did not realize that was supposed to be the Punisher, though.
Yeah. I believe they
Yeah.
have some kind of weird relationship. I don't know because
They
I've
should
never
wear
read
name
comics,
tags
but
because if he's
name
not wearing
tags.
There's so many Marvel characters.
if he's not wearing a name tag or a uniform that makes sense, what am I supposed to do? He just looks like a dude in like leather. You know what I mean? Spider-Man
Yeah.
has an outfit. It makes him look like Spider.
That's true.
I was happy to see Mark Ruffalo back as Bruce Banner.
Always
Love
happy to
that
see
guy.
Mark
Me too.
Ruffalo. Thrilled to have
Yes.
him on
Yep.
our screen.
Same.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
Erin, are you like into the Marvel verse and stuff?
No. That's why it's funny that I chose this, but I was like, I keep avoiding Marvel trailers, and I'm like, I should just choose one. And I felt like Spider-Man would be the one that would annoy me the least, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's
because
fair.
I'm kind of annoyed with I'm done with Marvel. I think
Same.
it was such an oversaturation that I'm just like, and there are a few characters that I like in the Marvel universe, but like there are others that I know people love that I find very boring, and like Captain America. Sorry, everybody,
Don't get the stucky. Don't.
I know Captain America just as a fanfic genre, to be honest. So him and Bucky, enormous
Don't.
quantities of fanfic spilled over that.
Don't invoke the stucky of it all.
Well, I've said this before on the podcast because I'm just not a fan. I'm not really a big fan of Chris Evans, to be quite frank. He just bores me. I know.
Interesting.
Ooh, I would love to hear your Chris rankings.
Oh, I could do that because
Yeah.
I love Chris Pine.
Yes. And you're right for that, Erin. You're right. He's the best Chris. The end.
No. The best Chris is Chris Messina, who is the most underrated Chris. A lot of people don't know of Chris Messina, but Chris Messina is fantastic. Probably the known thing that he's been in is he was in the Mindy Project.
Yeah. I love that guy.
Chris Messina. Love him.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yeah, fantastic actor. So yeah, that's the best Chris. And then I love Chris Pine and I love Chris Hemsworth. I don't consider Christian Bale a Chris, but
No, he's
Christian.
not a Chris.
That's fair.
No, he's not.
But as everybody knows,
Yeah.
Christian fucking Bale is our mascot, our unofficial mascot on this podcast.
Nice.
So if he was a Chris, he'd be the first Chris, but he's not a Chris in my mind. So that
he's
doesn't
not.
count. But this, to me, I like Tom Holland. I don't really care too much about this storyline necessarily. I just was like, well, we might as well watch a Marvel trailer. And I wasn't sure, since it was the first time both of you were on. I was like, okay, I'll pick something that'll be like, it won't be like too extreme one way or another. And I'll see. Yeah. And now I know that, Marvel, I probably will not do that again. But it looks sweet. I don't know.
It looks sweet, but it's like also interesting to watch it because I'm not like into the Marvel thing. It's like almost like I'm studying. I'm like, wow, how fascinating. Like this is such an interesting like study of what's going on. I don't know. They also mentioned in the trailer like spiders have different life stages, and now you're in this life stage.
I know.
I was like, what are you talking about? So now I'm like, they're actually getting into the spider of it all. Like it's really wild, but
the spider of it all. Yeah, I actually had a tarantula when I was a kid. So.
Wait, but Into the Spider-Verse is legitimately an incredible movie that I would watch every single day. I love that movie so much. So it's like it's
a great movie.
It's a hit or miss kind of thing because you have ones that are I don't know. I like Black Panther.
I mean, that's kind of true of the Marvel movies in general. To me, like some are really, really good, and most of them are very forgettable. But some are very good.
Yeah.
So, like, I love Thor Ragnarok.
Well,
yeah.
Unsurprisingly, due to my love of the New Zealand cinematic universe. So,
right.
What about Thor: Love and Thunder?
I didn't like that one as much, but I still enjoyed it.
Well, you know that all the fanboys hated that movie famously, and they can't get over it.
Oh,
We'll never get over it, V.
Yes. Any movie with Tessa Thompson is a win for me. So.
Yeah, we actually discussed that in January as part of our annual Christian fucking Bale month, because we do that every January.
That's right. He's in that movie. That's right. He's somewhat unrecognizable in it, but once I realized who it was, I was like, yeah,
here you are.
I'll have to listen to that one.
Yeah, we love celebrating Christian Bale. We actually have, as everybody knows, we have quote unquote Christian stops by every month. Carla does a Christian Bale impression, and it is hilarious. And she prints out photos of Christian Bale, and she'll put them up to her face and then do this Welsh accent. And, it's
incredible.
It's hilarious.
Does she yell a lot? Because I feel like he yells a lot.
No, he's actually, this is the thing about Christian Bale, is people have this idea of who Christian Bale is, of like that he's this really serious actor. He is the biggest dork. He's like a dad. He's like, if you watch any interviews with him, especially now, he's funny and he does not have an ego at all. He actually doesn't understand why people like him so much. He did this one interview a couple of years ago, and the person interviewing him was really nervous. And he's like, "Oh, are you jittery because you drank a bunch of coffee?" And he's like, "No, because I'm meeting you." And he's like, "Oh, you'll get over that really quickly."
Wow.
So he's
Christian Bale.
He doesn't take himself seriously like people tend to think he does. So, yeah.
There's an idea of Christian Bale.
He has a special place in my heart because he's in Velvet Goldmine.
Velvet Goldmine is one of my favorite movies. It was one of my awakenings, I would say, for like my fandom senses. I was like, this is everything to me. Everything. Ewan McGregor and Christian Bale? Forget it.
Yeah, that's a great movie. That's a fantastic movie.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, none of us are as excited as some of you are out there, but you don't have to feel too bad for Tom Holland or Spider-Man, because Tom Holland and Zendaya are together. So I don't think we need to shed tears.
Yeah.
He won big time there.
She did too. She did too, really, because that's a real one right there. A guy who's going to get in drag and like really go for it to Rihanna's Umbrella. Like,
that's true.
That's a good one right there.
No, I agree.
He's a Tumblr boyfriend.
That's right.
Well, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we are going to talk about fanfic. So we're going to talk about the fact that, at least from what I've read and have heard, there are more people venturing into the world of fanfic. So we'll be right back to discuss that. Okay, so I chose this topic because of both of you. And I also thought it was interesting that, and I think it's because of heated rivalry and probably a few other things, but I think that's really what kicked it off. There are a lot more people discovering AO3, or Archive of Our Own, if you don't know what that is. And people are using it now more. And of course, like not too long ago, AO3 was like down and kept crashing and then coming back and crashing. And
don't remind me.
Oh, sorry.
Horrible.
Sorry.
Horrible.
So awful. That was so awful.
Sorry. Didn't mean to stir up those. The PTSD.
Everybody on Tumblr was like, I survived the great AO3 blackout. And also, at one point, while it was down, I posted a picture of Castiel wading into the lake, like when he was full of Leviathans. And I was like, this is me, folks. Like, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Even when you can only express your feelings through Castiel memes.
So now, though, that people are discovering AO3, is there any advice, Emily, that you would give to like new fanfic readers, like things that they really should remember when they're venturing into those waters?
Yeah. So this is such a fascinating topic, because we were just talking about this with some guests too. Like, when you have been reading and writing fanfic for a long time and you see these folks who have never heard of AO3 and they're coming to it for the first time. It's exciting, but it's also like they bring a lot of expectations that I think are not necessarily related to fanfic. So like V and I were talking recently about how people were like, well, why can't we like rate the fanfics like from a scale of 1 to 5? Or why can't we, what about like charging money for fanfic? Or what about this? So they bring a lot of like expectations from like, reading romance novels or other things that don't really apply to fanfic for a lot of different reasons. So I would say if you're visiting AO3 or reading fanfic for the first time, it's good to know kind of where fanfic originated from, which is very much like a kind of anti-capitalist gift economy space where folks really aren't like, we're not trying to sell our fanfic, although a lot of people now are like pulling their fiction and changing it so that it's published as novels now. So that's an interesting whole other thing. But if you're coming to fanfic for the first time, come with a knowledge that it's different than books, and that's good. And every AO3 author loves when you comment and kudos. I have heard readers say, "Oh, I don't know if I should comment. I don't want to be, too into the comments or whatever." We love to get a comment from a new reader. It is like the bright spot in our day. So if you comment, even if it's just a heart emoji, it is such a thrill to us. So I would say if you have the ability to comment and kudo anything you're reading, that would be absolutely wonderful. It is like the best.
Yeah, it's like oxygen, and it's like the
Literally,
payment
yeah.
because you're doing it for free. So it's the payment. Yeah.
Yeah, I have some tips also. I think that if you find an author who you really like, check out that author's bookmarks.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that can help lead you to new places and to things that are similar to what you enjoyed reading. I also think it's good to explore the tag system on AO3. If you find a tag that you really like, click on it, go through there, and use that to help you find your way. Because a lot of people who are new to it, I've seen mention that they wish AO3 had an algorithm that would suggest things to them. But these are ways that you can find suggestions more organically than having an algorithm suggest it to you.
Yeah, I've never thought about that, but I can see why people would say that, especially in like today's landscape when we're so used to having an algorithm. And so when you're on a platform that doesn't have that, that's probably really weird for some people, for younger people, I would think.
Yeah. I think it's coming from a generation that's used to that. And then they're like, wait, this is like a huge website. Why isn't it? But guess what? AO3 is still in beta.
How do I navigate? Yes. Forever.
But also, I've also seen that people like, I'm on the fanfiction subreddit sometimes, and people will leave comments like, I didn't like this fic. And it's like, that's one of the things that you can do is not read the fic you don't like and just move on. I think that's one of the things too, is like, because fanfiction writers are writing this for free and out of the goodness of their hearts and just sharing it with fellow fans, part of the culture that I think authors want to foster and readers want to foster is this like positivity. So if you don't like something, I think one rule of thumb is just to kind of like click next and just move on and try not to like,
just close it.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, it's not a book review, you're not like putting it out there for people who are going to buy the book, right? So I think that's another thing I've seen is like that culture kind of creeps into it.
Yeah, we talked about that. We did an episode a couple of years ago called Fanfic Do's and Don'ts, and we talked about that because I do think that's one thing is that people can be cruel because it's anonymous. So people can leave really, I fortunately, knock on wood, have never had that. I've had like people with questions or like wondering things while something is in progress, but I've never had that, luckily. But I think if you don't like something, I've read plenty of fic that I noped out of right away or thought was terrible, but I didn't write a comment because people aren't necessarily doing this not everybody writing it is like professional writers, or not everybody doing it has ever done this before. And it's free. They're doing it for free, And so it's better to leave those kudos and the nice comments of encouragement too, because that encourages people to keep going because it's hard. And I want to say with the comments, echoing that Dean in Therapy fic that I mentioned, I started that in 2015 and I didn't finish it. It's a series. There's like 5-6 parts. And I didn't finish it until 2023. And I had left it for a couple of years unfinished. And then I kept getting comments from people, and that's what brought me back, and kudos. And that's what made me, okay, I should go back to this. So that's also a reason, is it encourages people to continue writing it.
And I think one final thing on the comments too is that I've seen people say, and this feels very modern culture, they say, oh, the fic's been out for a while. Should I still leave a comment? It's like, yes, absolutely. This thing I wrote in 2020, I would love to have a comment on that, you know?
Absolutely.
So don't feel like you need to have this immediacy the way the rest of the social internet is.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, I think what's really great about AO3 is it says in the title, it's an archive. So like part of it is like there's stuff up there from 10, 15 years ago. And most of the time authors are still around. If not, that's okay. But, you know, you can still leave comments for other readers. But it's an archive. So it operates differently than the fast-paced like social media that we have, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and this is about your podcast too, in a way, mind the tags, really. I think there's such this puritanical movement in like this younger generation, and it really worries me when it comes to fanfic. And I know there's a lot of stuff they want to ban and not have, and there's the, that anti-movement. But remember, the tags are there for a reason. And if you do read something, though, I will say the one time I think it's okay to comment is if you're reading a fic and the person didn't tag it right, and there's like this huge thing that could be so triggering.
Yes.
And they didn't tag that. That's when I think it's okay to leave a negative comment, because that's really bad. You shouldn't do that. If you start writing fanfic and you have anything that could be triggering, or if you're not even sure if it's going to be triggering, but it could maybe do that, definitely tag it, because that way people will know ahead of time,
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah. I was going to say, you're so right that there's this push sometimes like, oh, why can't AO3 ban these types of works? It's like, that's when you start going down a slippery slope of, okay, well, what should we ban next? And so that's why it's great to be able to mind the tags. But if it's not tagged, even just letting the author know, like, hey, you might have missed this. Just wanted to let you know, like, you should tag this. Like, authors definitely appreciate that, I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also don't over-tag your fic. That's another thing. I just think
couldn't be me.
Over-tag it. It could be.
Couldn't be me.
I have an old fic that I didn't tag well, and someone passive-aggressively left me a comment that was just all the tags that it should have. So I literally just copied them and put them in the tag field. And like, truly thank you to that person.
Well, also, it's like, one of the things that's really cropping up now is this AI concern, because a lot of folks are worried, first of all, that the AI is coming on AO3 and trolling and finding all these works, which it is. And also that people are posting AI-generated works on AO3. And one of the really interesting things that happened recently, I saw somebody asked the Organization of Transformative Works that runs AO3 to explicitly ban AI-generated fics. And they were like, we can't actually, because we don't know which ones are and aren't. And if we're going to go into fics and start judging them and reading them like, ooh, maybe this is AI, maybe this isn't, that's really problematic too, because you might have folks, like you said, Erin, who they might be writing this and it sounds like AI, but it's not. And, it's a really tough space, I think, for writers and readers to be in. But it's like you want to err on the side of not policing the space so much,
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Because there's a lot of disturbing stuff on there but it might be something that somebody else loves or they wrote for a reason, and you never know. But yeah, the AI thing, AI is just, that's
sorry to be bringing the AI into it all.
AI is everywhere. But I have heard that where some people have said this fic is AI and it's not AI. So, it's hard to tell sometimes. I mean, you'd think it'd be easy to tell, but I think there might be ones that aren't as easy to tell. So, yeah.
And it's just kind of like, you give people the benefit of the doubt. And then if you find that there is, you can comment and say, this is, it's hard. What do you do? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for you.
I just assume that the marketplace of ideas will win and fics that are good will rise.
That's right.
But yeah.
That's what we hope for.
That might be too optimistic.
Well, we can hope for it. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much, Emily and V, for joining me for this week's Pop Culture and Fandom News episode. But we're going to go ahead and close it out, and I'm going to have both of you say more about Mind the Tags and where that can be found, or one of you say. So, Emily, take it away.
Yeah, Mind the Tags. We are on most podcast platforms. We're also on Blue Sky, Tumblr, and now Instagram, where I am posting reels of me reacting to watching Supernatural. So if you enjoy that kind of content,
Yes.
you can come on over to Mind the Tags on Instagram. And V and I are, we post every other week our episodes. So happy to have you listen.
Awesome.
Yeah. We also have a Patreon.
Oh, right.
We do have a Patreon.
Which Emily forgets every single time. Which is also just Mind the Tags.
And is there anywhere else you want to promote, V, or anything else you want to promote?
I don't think so. I mean, check out Fervent Rabbit's fanfic and Be Against the Day's fanfic.
Yeah.
If you like sad pirates.
If you like sad pirates who are in their mid to late 40s and they're figuring it out for the first time, then we're your people. Come on over to AO3.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so much. And, I don't share it all the time, but my handle over there is CAvery1, the number 1. So it's SEAAVERY 1 over there on AO3. If you want to check it out, it's mainly Dean Winchester centered fanfics. And then I did actually write for the Mindy Project. I did a couple of fanfics a long time ago. That was my first venture into fanfic writing.
Love that. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for being on. And she doesn't write fanfic or read fanfic, but she does love horror movies. And that's Fergie the dog. And that is a true thing. You can see her on TikTok watching horror films. She will sit there in rapture just watching. I have one on there of her watching Insidious. And she's so into it and so focused that it's kind of scary.
Love it.
That's amazing.
But she does also like Abbott Elementary, and she likes true crime. So I don't know why she likes true crime, but But you can follow Fergie the dog on TikTok at Schroeder and Fergs. That's SCHROEDERANDFERGS. It's long, but it's worth it. To find all our past episodes, links to our social media, including our Discord server, which I will have to send both of you the link for that if you're on Discord, where we talk about everything from politics to fanfic to actors to movies to pets to everything you can think of, you can find over there. And as long as you're a good person and as long as you're not peddling AI, like that happened once and I banned that person permanently, then
Bye-bye.
You are welcome. Yeah. Then you are welcome over there. And like I said, you can also find all our past episodes. We have over 600 episodes over there. Everything you can possibly think of, we have pretty much covered. So head on over to itsafandomthingpod.com. And while you're there, consider becoming a Patreon supporter today. For as little as $3 a month, you get ad-free content, you get bonus episodes, and you also occasionally win prizes, like for our upcoming marathon streaming event in May on May 16th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Again, I don't know why I keep doing it every year, but people seem to like it. I'm going to be streaming for 12 hours straight. So we'll have lots of great guests, and we also give away prizes to some of our Patreon subscribers. So click the link in the show notes or go to the Support Us tab on our website. It's afandomthingpod.com. And on Friday's episode, Emily and V will be back to talk about slash in fan fiction, and in particular, male slash. So I am very excited to have this conversation. So until next time, remember, it's a fandom thing. Black Lives Matter, stop Asian hate, and free Palestine.
With Vrbo's last-minute deals, you can save over $50 on your spring getaway. So whether it's a mountain escape, city break, or a week at the beach, there's still time to get great discounts. Book your next stay now.
Average savings $72. Select homes only.